Actually, I need to do a bunch of like dramatic stuff so I can put it in the beginning of the video so everybody's like, oh my gosh. Barbie movie sucks and I don't understand why all of you guys like it. I don't understand the hype. Margot Robbie is a terrible actor. Ryan Gosling is also a bad actor. And Issa Rae, I mean, she doesn't know how to act. I don't get the... Okay, I'm done. Anyway, now that everybody is here, welcome. I feel so unprepared right now because I don't have any pink apparel to wear for this video and I feel like that was the bare minimum. So I have to start off with an apology. I'm gonna be brutally honest. When I first got wind of the Barbie wave before the movie came out, like months earlier, I wasn't excited to watch it. And I know I could be crucified by saying that. Why you should worry about the opinion of some random person on the internet on this movie? You shouldn't. But you clicked on this video, so you might as well just stick around and find out why every single time I saw on Twitter people talking about get the latest Barbie Oppenheimer t-shirt and all of the clips of the disco number to Dua Lipa's I'm so sorry, to Dua Peep's disco song just made me want to gouge my eyes out. It was a bit excessive, but I need retention. I need watch retention. A girl has to pay her bills. So if you excuse me. What's up, party? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Rumbo. Yay! And for those who don't know me already, I'm an artist and a fine art student and I make videos just about that. Today I wanted to word vomit because I actually am not in a particularly chatty mood, but I just felt like word vomiting and talk about my thoughts on the world's most marketed movie right now, Barbie by Greta Gerwig. There is no way on earth that you have not heard of this movie because they really pulled out all of the stops with the marketing budget. I have seen it everywhere. It is actually creeping into my dreams and I'm getting scared. Barbie clothes, Barbie houses, Zara, Cotton On, Crocs, Burger King, Fossil, hair care, there's roller skates. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more, but that's how much I found so far. And also on Google, if you search Barbie, it's pink. So even Google's pink. Everywhere is Barbified. It has been literally impossible to go a single day without seeing Margot Robbie in a pink dress, which honestly, I'm not complaining. I don't know who would. I felt like I was overwhelmed by Barbie before I even knew what the movie was about. Like, I know it's about Barbie because like, yeah, you get what I mean. I didn't really see the burning desire to go and watch the movie, but like, I'm not going to be vague. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Also why I think that my reaction of being so overwhelmed about the movie is actually something I think may have been intentional. And if it is, it's quite successful in tying to the aesthetic and the ideas around the movie and around Utopia and Uncanny Valley and all of that type of stuff. I don't know how to summarize my video. Let me try that again. Let me try it again. In this video. And I'll also be talking about what I actually am excited for. This video is not a hate video. It's just talking about like something I noticed when I first reacted to it. Let's just get this straight. The title is clickbait. Everything I said in the beginning is clickbait. I actually think it's cool. Margot Robbie, I'm a huge fan of hers. My opinions in this video do not matter. I am not a director or a movie critic or anything of the sorts. I am an artist, so that may influence because I'm going to overanalyze my feelings. This is just a fun chat with you besties. But before we get on to the video, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on my post notifications so you're notified when next I upload a video. I usually upload in the beginning and the end of the week. Make sure that my post notifications are turned on so you never miss a video from me. Before I get onto this video, I want to say thank you so much. We hit 1.5 thousand subscribers and this happened out of nowhere. I am actually really stunned and emotional right now, so thank you so much. Every watch, every share, every like you give helps me a lot. So thank you for all the love you've shared so far. Let's get on to Barbie. Barbie is not just a movie, it's a lifestyle and we have to immerse ourselves in. Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in this colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie land. However, when they get the chance to go to the real world, they soon discover the joys and perils of living amongst humans. This change ends up unfolding and we see more of it in the trailer. Barbie Robbie, it's not even funny, lives in this matriarchal utopia called Barbie Land with a bunch of other Barbies where you can see each other first thing in the morning because in true Barbie fashion, all of their lavish mansions do not have exterior walls, which means that at any given moment, your bestie can just stare at you sleeping in your most vulnerable state, Utopia in it. Just at a dance party, Barbie ends up having a weird shift in thought and she starts to worry about real problems and has a little existential crisis, which is not good. Something shifts in her and she is not as happy-go-lucky as she used to be, and the most tragic thing we see thus far is that unfortunately she has flat feet. This part of the movie trailer actually was hilarious because I have like actual flat feet. I can relate. In order to recover from this unusual spell and this unusual funk, she has to travel to the real world to find her owner. And also Ken Gosling is coming along just for vibes. So when I first watched the trailer, I had like a lot of thoughts. But first of all, it was just so overwhelming. Like I needed to stare at a white wall after watching it so that my eyes could take a break. Light pinks, dark pinks, hot pinks, yellows, plastic greens and blues was a lot to process. You know what it was giving? It was giving like mid 2010s beauty guru DIY YouTuber video aesthetic. You know when they crank up the saturation to like 10,000% so that everything is like color on steroids? Yeah. Giving that. Although I won't say that in a bad way because that era of YouTube really had me in a chokehold. It's the reason why I actually wanted to be a YouTuber. And it's not just the colors, like it's also the happy-go-lucky, bright, sickeningly sweet personalities. This is the first time I have thought, hey, you smile too much. Stop that. I don't know where I stopped off, but also amidst being off, I saw that Twitter is officially changing their logo, and why? With all the lavish sets and the patterns and the clothes, it was just a lot to take in and I really couldn't, and it kind of annoyed me because I was confused, like what's wrong with me? And then that alongside with the very pop bubblegum happy like Barbie-esque backing track and all the music, I have been haunted by Dua Lipa and Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice. And this is not even to sound like a pick-me girl, as if I'm like saying, ew, I don't want to watch like your frou-frou pretty pink stuff. I like rocks and fire and alpha male podcasts. The kitsch maximalist aesthetic is also not my kind of tea aesthetic wise, so that played into my initial views of seeing the movie posters and some snippets from social media before I even like got into the swing of the Barbie wave. Like, trust me, you will not catch me buying a baby tee from Cotton On with Ryan Gosling's face. It is beneath me. I say this as I am tens of thousands of miles away from Hollywood, still in my bedroom, living with my parents. Honestly, at first, I thought this movie was just popular because of the insane cast as well as the publicity. Because I mean, there's Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Will Ferrell, America Ferrera, Issa Rae, just to name a few of them. But now we're moving into the part of the video where I'm going to make you hate me less, because there is a but, a very big but, where I kind of had an aha moment, which took a while to clock in. Or maybe this is just me being over analytical. Now we're going to talk about something called visual overwhelm. You know when you're in like a crowded area, like a mall or a music festival, where it's just so much is going on that you wish you stuck to your introverted tendencies and stayed at home recluse in your bedroom like a tortoise, binge watching the same K-drama for the 7th time? No? Just me? Well, this is something called sensory overload. Smells you pick up in the air, or the sounds of the cars and people talking and adverts, or even the people you're bumping into. That's just like a lot to handle at once. Healthline.com describes sensory overload as something that happens when you're getting more input from your 5 senses than your brain can sort through and process. There's a bunch of symptoms that sensory overload could cause. Some of them can be like a difficulty focusing due to the overload of what you are taking in, extreme irritability, restless and discomfort, the urge to cover your ears or shield your eyes from everything that's going on around you, feeling overly excited or like tight and wound up, and just like having a lot of anxiety. Or you could be much more sensitive to things like certain fabrics or textures that you are touching or brushing against you. When there is competing sensory information, your brain is starting to struggle and it feels stuck because it doesn't know which information to process first and which one to focus on. Your brain freaks out and it's like, we need to get out of here, and it will do everything it can for you to get out of there. I tend to get sensory overload quite easily, so this maximalist thing happening in Barbie really did just take me for a spin. I couldn't process all the pink, bro. I feel like I need to watch the movie in sunglasses, and I really do want to watch the movie, and I actually am contemplating watching them in sunglasses. So I get not everybody will have the same reaction. That's just what happened when I watched the trailer. When I cut to scenes of Barbie and Ken in the real world, like it felt like my eyes could finally take a rest. You know what I mean? But then again, I feel like this cloyingly sweet Barbie land has more to do than just mirroring the Barbie aesthetic, but it also says something else. Utopia. A place of ideal perfection, especially in laws, government, and social conditions. Guys, I need you to take out your notebooks because we're doing a history lesson. In 1516, English humanist Sir Thomas More published a book titled Utopia, which compared the social and economic conditions in Europe with those of an ideal society on an imaginary island located off the coast of the Americas. He wanted to imply that the perfect conditions and the fake place could never exist. Hence, he titled the place Utopia, which U means no and Topia means place, no place. Barbie Land is an example of utopia. Everyone is happy, they have parties, it's bright and colorful, and it just seems perfect. But perfection isn't real. And what happens when us humans see something that isn't quite real? We get a bit creeped out about it. It was really hard to research information around this very specific topic, so let me know if you know what I'm trying to say. But have you ever seen something that just seemed so flawless that it was unnerving? Like, for example, AI generated images of humans who have never existed before, or those very hyper realistic video games. When it enters that uncanny valley where it seems too real to be true or not quite real enough. So that's what came to mind when I thought of Barbie Land, because you know how Barbie is the perfect girl next door. She has a smile on 24/7, they are conventionally attractive bodies, and they have lavish possessions. Every day is a sunny day and it always ends in a dance number. But this does not and will never exist. So seeing something presented as reality and it's something that we will never have happen is weird. It's unnerving. When I was watching it, it was almost like I was expecting something bad to happen, because in real life, when there's good, there's also bad, or there's also boring. But here, it's perfect, and I don't trust it. From the trailer, when Barbie goes into the real world, I can trust the imagery again because it looks realistic. It's something that I know is possible because it's real, you know what I mean? When people are in their normal day-to-day jobs at the office or in school or at the hospital and they're in desaturated clothes and they're not smiling 24/7 because they have emotions. Even now we see Barbie show emotion other than this plastic smile. Then it feels real. Then I can calm down. I'm not on edge because I don't think that I've entered a weird no place utopia. And I think this really ties into the movie effectively. And this is hyper analytical Rumbo speaking because I haven't watched the movie. This idea of Barbie being an unreal expectation, and it should never be. Perfection is impossible, and there is no such thing, and there will never be anything such as a utopia. And that's actually a good thing. And when someone attempts to create a utopia and present it as that, well, our hardware literally can't process that or trust it. Real things have imperfections here and there. Our bodies are in different sizes. Our skin has texture. We're not always smiling 24/7. Let me know if you had a similar reaction or a different reaction. Most of what I'm saying in this video is coming from my personal reaction. That's why it's a word vomit. So I'm really curious to see how like everybody took the Barbie train. More than that, and I think most importantly, I think that this movie is just coming in good timing for us to just sit back, relax, and laugh and giggle. I feel like watching movies and shows nowadays is just so depressing. I see a big shift to realistic depiction where they show a lot of like real scenarios, or like it's just done raw and real, but that's just so sad sometimes. Those type of shows are really good and they exist for a reason and they should be continued, but I feel like there hasn't been a lot that we can just sit back and relax and have a fun time without it being like existential. I watch a lot of K-dramas. Actually, I only watch K-dramas. So I love the different genres and the different types that happen in K-dramas. My most favorite side of K-dramas is the very cheesy, cliche, stereotypical rom-coms. When I see a synopsis of a rich CEO's son falling in love with a middle-class work subordinate as he discovers how middle-class people live, sign me up. Honestly, I love it because it's predictable. I've watched well over 100 different K-drama series, so I know the formula down to the minute, down to the episode. I know what I'm gonna get, and I know I'm always gonna get a happy ending, and I love that. But also it's so hilariously unrealistic that I can just enjoy it without having to think about my own reality. I mean, yeah, I would love to fantasize that eventually I'd have a rich boyfriend that would buy an entire hotel suite for me and also take me on expensive brand shoppings, but the possibility of that is slim to none. I enjoy these type of shows because it's fun, it's predictable, and I can trust them because it's gonna end happy and I can just leave happy. And I imagine that Barbie would be the same way. Also, Barbie had my childhood in a chokehold. I tell you, wow, it really honestly, I feel like she had a lot to do with why I'm so creative nowadays, like making those stories of Barbie as a dancer or a super spy or a chef super spy. It takes me back to simpler times when I watched the trailer. I remember I was watching the behind the scenes video of the set design for the Barbie movie, and it just made me so happy because I could recognize a lot of the different toys I had as a kid. Nostalgia like that can be so comforting, especially because Barbie has been around for a long time. It's nostalgia for different generations, so this movie definitely appeals to a lot of us, and I really find that really nicely. Above and beyond the whole "we live in a society" commentary I said earlier, I honestly think that one of the reasons why this movie was so anticipated is the relatability factor of Barbie. It's like a shared memory, and I feel like that's really warming that it's being celebrated. So in conclusion, I'm going to wear my sunglasses and watch the movie and hope for the best. Let me know your thoughts on the movie if you've already watched it. Please do not spoil. Please don't be that person. And also let me know any other video ideas that you would like me to do in the future. If my eyes have been falling like half asleep during this recording, I'm so sorry. It's 10 o'clock, but also talking makes me tired, so I'm gonna end this here and say thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, like. If you like me, subscribe, comment down below, all that fun jazz, and until then.